Hello everyone and welcome back to the 29-part tutorial of how to model a basketball court arena, where we will continue with modeling the backstop board. So this time I'm gonna again say three words, and I wanna tell you something about what's up, or how I see what happened with part 28, basically the earlier part before this one. So if I recall, I just warned you from the beginning that these parts can be a little bit more longer and also a little bit more complex on the aspect of what do you see on your screen whenever I'm modeling. I know that all these crowded edges and everything that I'm doing is very, you know, just a little bit hard to understand while I'm modeling this. Though I think that the overall, if you are understanding the rule that uh, creates a sharp edge by adding two supporting edges for each one sharp edge, um, if you are following this rule, so it's easier for you to understand why and why, yeah, basically why I'm choosing to add uh, at some points edges, and then why I choose to remove them for a while until I will able to extract the next shapes that I need from the main shape. So basically, I'm just trying to be more, settled with the idea that I know that I'm creating something that might be look a little bit hard to model or understand, and with this basic instruction and following the other tutorials that I created or parts that I created already, um, I have this need to feel that you understand when when is the time to apply edge loops, supporting edge loops when they are needed. So anyway, the next part, this part basically, it's just the same, but we will need to again modify things, remove edges, add them back, and do sort of stuff that will help us to continue and create a one solid object and not create it from chunks. Okay, if you into create things into chunks, that's all good with me. You want to speed up your workflow, you want to do things faster, that's all good. Many people modeling in chunks. Many people decide not to get into this, complex area of modeling where they need to think over every time when they want to, you know, add a little bit more detail. So there's no harm on creating things in chunks. That is what most people do, but I'm trying, at least, you can see the other parts of the tutorial, and I'm trying to provide something that is just a little bit more um, advanced for you, and help you to see this from my own view and how I choose to build the shape and see the hierarchy that I work with when I'm creating edges and remove them and whatever. Anyway, same thing going on to happen right now. We're going to continue with the same way, and I really do hope that you will be able to follow this, even if it looks a little bit hard on you. So I'm gonna press 1 to bring it back to smooth to non-smooth preview mode. And first of all, I'm gonna open a reference picture, and I want to show you what we are going to do. So you see here we have this piece of metal which we already extruded there, but we have these, and at the other side we have another one. And as you can see, um, this piece is like not a, a solid part from our frame. It's just like a chunk that has been attached or firmed using those two bolts here or whatever they are. Um, Now, for the sake of creating this piece, I still want it to be one solid part as part of the frame. So I don't want this to be a divided part as chunk. Now, therefore, what we will need to do is basically, first of all, uh, set the the size of this using the outer frame, and then we will extrude this, and we will see. You will see whatever I'm gonna do right now. But anyway, first of all, what I do really care about is that you will understand that I've done something that's just a little bit wrong, but it's very easy to you know uh, to fix this. You see the height here is really a little bit more than the center, but it leaves us a very small room to uh, before we can add this thing. Now, if I will choose to add this part here, well, that's okay. I mean, that's fine. Maybe you can always come and um, set those vertices to the height that you prefer and you see it's better, okay? But anyway, I will leave this to you. Right now I will continue as it was, and we will start and building this. So the first thing I want to do is adding two edges, and these edges will basically will tell me what is the the size of this chunk here. So I'm gonna add one edge here, and I'm gonna add one edge somewhat here. Now, if you remember from the picture, this chunk was just a little bit smaller than the space that we have between this part here to it, okay? So something about like what I've done right now, this is what will determine how uh, what will be the size of this chunk. Now, um, yeah. So I'm gonna add two more edge loops, one for it from the upper part and one beneath this one. So those are the maintaining ones. Now I want to set the thickness of this chunk. So let's say that the thickness will be something like so, and you will understand later what I'm doing here. I'm just zooming out to see that this edge has been added to the entire shape, okay? And if it's not, I will need to do whatever it takes to make sure that I have um, you know the correct geometry. Right now it's okay because it went through the entire shape, and that's all good with me. Now what I want to do here is, see here, if I really zoom in, I have these two faces here, right? Now before I will deal with them, I want to add one more edge loop here next to this one. I'll make sure that they are following the same path. So yeah. Now I want to delete those two faces here, this one and that one, okay? Because we're gonna extrude those faces here over this first edge here, and it will already create another face inside, just like happened before when we needed to use the X-ray and tunneling the camera inside the shape in order to delete that face. So I'm gonna choose to grab this face, that face, that face, that face, and if you really zoom in, you can see that here we have another face. And I want to make sure that I do select everything. So yeah, now I'm gonna extrude it. I clicked extrude. I will position my camera in a way that I can handle this, and I will switch to move tool immediately. I'm gonna zoom in here that way and hold down the V key and push this just a little bit. You see, you probably think that I want to add it here. I don't want to add it here. I want to add it to the first edge that I have down here, this one, see, to this edge. So this is where I wanted to extrude it at the first time. We'll extrude in two steps. So the first step will be to take it over there, and this can be a little bit frustrating. Let's see. Yeah, you see? So it's extruded until this edge, and that's good. And now we can click extrude again, and this time we'll snap it to this edge. So switch to move tool, I already click extrude, so I just need to switch to move tool, hold down the V key, and snap this thing over that edge. Now, you're allowed to zoom in, of course, and see that this is really where it is. Now, you can see that we already, by extruding those entire faces, we already created this extra edge loop that's supporting this. I mean, I will pick the edge. So we created this edge by extruding this, okay? So we selected the lower face there, and therefore it's creating this extra edge loop. So that means that here we don't need any extra edge loop more than that. Also, here we don't need this, okay? We have this one there, and we have the entire three those that basically belong to this part down there that we created earlier. Now, anyway, with that done, I wanna first switch to X-ray. Now, in X-ray, I will be able to delete those two faces that I have inside here. I'm gonna enter with my camera here and select those two faces. Now, sorry, I'm gonna switch back off from X-ray, and I want to enter with my camera so you'll be able to see what's going on here. Basically, what we have here is a face where it should be hello again. So we need to remove this. So this is what I'm doing. I'm simply removing it so we won't have any extra face inside the shape where it shouldn't be. So that face has been removed. Now we need to finally patch this. So the points where we need to merge vertices right now, it's those 2 points here. Shift right click those 2 points here, and I will zoom out to the upper part and grab the same 2 groups. So these 2 and those 2. Now we may selected something from the outer frame, I mean from the outer side of the board. So I'm just making sure that we didn't. And with that done, I will go over mesh, edit mesh, and choose merge component. But before that, let me just zoom in to have a look on this and make sure that this is really happening there. Okay, merge component. Okay, so they've been patched, and the only way to really know this is to pick them. So right click, choose vertex, grab this vertex, just click once and just pull it somewhere. So you see it takes those 2 edges together, so that means that this area is patched. One click here, moving this one, the other 2 edges from the sides are moving according to this. I want to make sure that this vertex here, which I can't really see, I need to zoom in. Something here is just not right. Well, it did select it, though I can't see it from this side. This is frustrating. I know that it's just gonna be hard for you to understand. I know that I see it and everything is okay, but I can't really tell how efficient this is when you want to teach people what you are doing or show people what you are doing. Anyway, let's press 3. You can see there are no holes here, okay? And by removing that face, we basically, those 2 faces inside, so we avoided any distortions on the shape, whatever may appear there if it was still there. So as well, we created when we extruded all those faces, we, as I said, we added the supporting edge loops in some areas are already been added. So all I want to do right now is creating 2 more edge loops. One is here, that way. Okay. Now I want you to have a look on what's going on here. I'm adding this edge here, and it's supposed to go through there, but for some reason it also went through the inner part. I mean, you can see this edge there. I really hope that it didn't do anything that shouldn't be happened here. Let's see. Well, that's okay. It's from the other side. So this edge supporting now this edge, okay? This edge. And from here we already have edge, so we don't need another one. Though we do need one back here to support this one. So I'm gonna add it that way, okay? So this one supported by this one and that one. Now we need to add, we have this edge and we need to support it. So we have this one to support it and we need to add this one here, and of course down there we need another one just like that. So we have this one to support this one and we need another one here to support this one. So if I will press 3, press F8, let's have a look at this, and that looks good. Well, I do have some black areas here, and probably because I over modified this, but I think that the overall, that's good. That's fine. I can stay satisfied with that for a while. Let me just add another edge loop correctly here. Press 3. And I don't know, for some reason it's just a little bit weird. Just a little bit weird. Oh. Oh, that's okay. I do think that, well, that's okay. That's okay. Everything is cool here. If you want to right click choose vertices, I don't know, maybe choose other vertices and all those bunch and try and no, there's no reason for that. Anyway, let's grab these faces here, those, okay, and those as well. Well, I need to press 1 to make sure I'm exiting smooth preview mode, and I want to grab those 3 here, those 3, and I don't care about these faces as long that I keep and grabbing the entire faces on those lines. So this one, sorry, this one and that one. And I'm gonna extrude this one. So extrude it once, switch to move tool, pull it just a little bit because I want to have there an edge loop. So let's keep it very close. And then extrude it once more, switch to move tool, and extrude it as much as you like. That way you will always be able to modify this if it's not at the correct size. But right now, oh, sorry, undo whatever you did, unextrude this. We first need to grab those and pull them a little bit outside from the frame. So we want this one, that one, and we want to go over down there. Really hard on that scales. Okay, this face, this face. I'm missing one little one here. Now I will be able to extrude it just a little bit outside. So switch to move tool after extruding, pull it that way. So that's good. Press F8. And yeah, that's fine. Now I will add one edge loop here. Try and focus. Make sure you make it close enough. And then what I will do is adding one here and one next to it. So I set the size of those faces that I'm going to extrude over there. So now I can simply grab those faces. Uh, this one and that one. Oh no, sorry, this one and that one. This one and that one. Just this is disturbing. This one and that little guy here. So I extruded them. Switch to move tool and push them over there. Alright, so this sets, well, I think this is a little bit thin. Yeah, this is really thin. Let's undo whatever I did. In zoom it looks big, but when you close up to it, but apparently it should be something like so. So we will do this that way. And we're gonna grab these two, scroll down there, basically panning down there, those two, and extrude, switch to move tool. Why that happened? Okay, just picked that face up there that I didn't really needed. This one for some reason, I don't know why. And yeah, it's still extruding for some reason. Oh, it's pulling it, so let's extrude it. No. Well, some things are just unbearable, or I don't know. These I went far with my zooming. This and that. Thanks. Now please just extrude it in a proper way. Alright, thank you. So that's good. Press F8, bring it back to object mode. Let's add some extra edges. Shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm gonna add one here. Thankfully there are no problems by adding those. Last time I was trying to do this, I had few new problems. So this one already has this edge, so I don't need to add more. So I mainly need to keep those, and let's have a look that way. We have this one, but we need this one here, so I'm gonna add it right now. And right after I'm gonna add it, I want to have a look on where it follows. So yeah, it follows only this shape, so that's good. Press F8, bring it back to object mode, and right now, as far as I can see it, that's all good. Though we do have a problem here, which I'm not sure why. Oh, I'm missing some edge here. I need edge here. Press 3, all good. Here, let's see. We have this one, support this one, we have this one, which is a little bit too far, but I can't really move it because it's controlled by the thickness of this one, so I am gonna move it. You need to be very careful when you do things such as this. And yeah, I think this is pretty much it. So let's wrap this part here. This is how it looks. I think that it's even over too much for this part. 24 minutes on the clock, and I really hope, I don't know, my best wishes is that that you can understand whatever is going on here, because sometimes it's just looked over confusing even to me. I mean, I'm trying to look at this always from your own eyes, from people who are just learning this, and it's just, I think that if someone would try to show me this, it will be awful. It will be hard for me to really understand what's going on there inside, and how do I know that there is those faces there that I should remove, inside when I apply the X-ray. There are so many things that you need to consider and think about whenever you're doing, you modeling, and um, these are just simple stuff that you are facing every daily use when you open Maya and start really taking modeling a little bit more serious. So uh, you need to be aware of all those crap and just deal with them. And I think that after once or twice that you will do this, you will simply be good at it. So no problem. With practice, your skills are, uh, got refined much better. So anyway, thank you for watching. We will continue at the next part, and we will had to add this extra chunk here, and I hope that that part won't be that long or whatever. Anyway, till then, have a nice day. Thank you for watching this part of the tutorial.